Great. So Isabel is joining us from London, and she promises to only ask one out of her million questions for you.
Hi, Chuck.
Nice to meet you.
Amazing to meet you. Really incredible. Incredible. So yeah, my question, because I'm an actress, and I knew when I first stepped on stage as an 11-year-old, and I got the response I got, and I felt the way I felt about being up there, that I was where I needed to be. And I'd loved going to the theatre from a young age. And I see on your website that you say from 2.5 years old, you had that in you. So my question is, do you remember a moment? Clearly your parents inspired you hugely. I can resonate with that as well. Do you remember a moment where you you felt that feeling of, wow, this is something really that I want to do?
That's a really good question. I think when I was super young, I don't know, there's probably a combination or how it built up, but I remember when I was really young, my mom would take us skiing and she'd have me between her legs and then my sister in a backpack. And I just remember that kind of thing, and that feeling and being out in the elements was always something that I just grew to love more and more. And learning different sports, and then going with my mom, you know, getting to leave school and go to a windsurf competition and then compete alongside my mom. It just kept building more and more. And then once I was on my own, and then having my dad and his, you know, always as a supporter, and then his friends kind of fueling the fire of like, hey, in the back of my head, you're not going to amount to anything if you do sports. You need to go to school. And then I had this one time where I was traveling, and I remember this was before cell phones or whatnot. And I had called my mother before I was leaving to go on this windsurf competition. And I had said, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm doing exactly what I've always dreamed about. And my mom was like, this is all part of it. There's so much more, you know? And I remember being on that plane and just sitting back, looking out the window, you know, kind of in disbelief, but at the same time knowing this is where I had to go. But I didn't realize how many more doors were going to open to just continue that. And it was always new, you know, going from windsurfing to living in Maui and kiteboarding and everything else. It was just a rad process to go through. And so that was the one moment where I really understood that all the decisions that I made where there was a little uncertainty made sense. And then little did I know, after that, it just exploded. So that was kind of one of my first times where it really made sense for me.
Thank you so much.